Another protest came and went this weekend. No Kings 2.0. People showed up, made signs, chanted, and then went home. And nothing changed. Democrats, I love your passion. I love that you're willing to exercise your First Amendment rights. But I want to get real with you for a minute. Do you think no Kings made any difference at all? Do you think Donald Trump is going to change his policies because you dressed like tacos and hot dogs for a few hours? And what about the other protests from this year? Hands off, 50-51, Free America weekend. Did you see any changes after those? Of course not. All those protests really did was give you a chance to make signs, dress up in costumes, and hang out with like-minded people, which is fine. But it didn't change anything. Here's what I wish you had done instead. Talked with each other about how you're part of the problem regarding Donald Trump. Oh man, Curt, are you nuts? We're not part of the problem. It's that evil orange Nazi dictator wannabe king who's the problem. No, I heard myself right. You are part of the problem. You're part of a system that takes turns electing Republican and Democrat presidents. Look at the history of our country. A Republican is president half the time. A Democrat is president half the time, which means at least half the time throughout the history of our country, you've been miserable. And at least half the time for the rest of your life, you're going to be miserable. Is that efficient? Is that progress? Do you enjoy being miserable half the time? Because if you keep doing things the way you've been doing them, that's what you're signing up for. I know you don't like Trump. You had to put up with him for 4 years. Then you stressed about him during Biden's 4 years. Now you've got 4 more years of him. That's 12 years of your adult life. The average human lifespan is 78 years, which means you'll spend over 20% of your adult life stressing about Trump. 20% of your adult life. Let that sink in. And then let this sink in. You're part of the reason he's in office. And what about George W. Bush before him? And what about Ronald Reagan? What about the next Republican president who gets elected after Trump? You're always part of the problem because you take part in this two-party system that takes turns taking office. How many years and decades are you willing to be miserable, anxious, fearful, angry, and under the thumb of Republicans? There's a better way. It's called a principle-based government instead of a policy-based government. Rather than having Republicans in office half the time with policies you don't like, you could have a system where you always get your way. In the perfect society, Republicans and Democrats both get their way, and so does everybody else. Republicans and Democrats get to pursue their policies at the same time. Neither party steps on the toes of the other party. They both exist simultaneously in the perfect society. Maybe you think that sounds crazy. How can they both exist at the same time? They want opposite things. They can both exist at the same time. I detail exactly how in my short book, Everybody's Happy, Everybody Wins, How to Build a Perfect Society. And it can happen with only 25% of Americans buying in. And it can happen in less than 2 years. We've established a political party called the Happy Party. The Happy Party allows both Democrats and Republicans to work on their policies simultaneously. Neither party forces the other to endorse or pay for their policies. Each party moves forward with their agendas. The country benefits from both. My book is available in multiple formats. You can listen to the audiobook on Spotify, Audible, and Apple Music. You can listen to the podcast reading on those same channels and on YouTube. Click on everybodyshappy.com below to access links to all the formats or to download a digital copy of the book. Physical copies are currently in production. The longer you wait to learn about the perfect society, the longer you'll waste your time with protests that don't work, social media complaints that get ignored, and living under Republican rule half the time for the rest of your life. It's your choice.